Welcome back, everyone. Excuse me, to WeAwake, and we've been doing this for quite a while now. And you can see we have a lot of the WeAwake team here, and this is it's good for us. I hope it's good for you. It's good to get together and meditate. And we got a lot of things going on right now, and we're approaching our 10th anniversary. Well, this is actually our 10th anniversary in October this month. So we've been at it for 10 years. Oh my God. Thank you, God. And one of the things that we're doing to celebrate this, and you probably already received your email notifying this, but we're having a 24-hour WeAwake streaming extravaganza. So you can just tune into it and listen to all kinds of beautiful tracks, and maybe ones that you haven't heard before. And if you want to be a superhuman person and become a god, just listen to all 24 hours straight. And let me know how that goes. I'm not sure you're supposed to do that, but yeah, more is more. And also, but you can do too much because this is very powerful technology. And I think the max that I've done, maybe with one exception, is 3 hours in a row. So that's when, yeah, when you really got something going on, and I don't know, you're struggling with something, or you're getting ready to transition or do something new, or you're looking for inspiration or direction. It's a really powerful way to get beyond your normal, beautiful monkey, as the Buddhists call it, discursive mind, and get to deeper places inside of where wisdom and direction resides. So let's see, what else did I have to announce today? Well, one of the things we've been doing is really just beautifully inspiring. Pam and I guess myself on occasion, we've been interviewing you guys that have been using WeAwake for some time, and just letting you talk about, yourselves and your experience. And man, it's just so inspiring. It's been really, really amazing to see the effects that this has in the world. And not a bunch of people, but complexity theory says, you can change the whole pattern to a much higher and more complex pattern just through some small event. It can even be quite peripheral. So we never know what the results are going to be when we begin to transform and we begin to change, but it affects the field, and the field is geared to evolve and to become more beautiful, to become more complex. And we're in a difficult time right now. And we're going through this bloody pandemic. And, in the United States, we've lost over 200,000 people, which is more than we lost on all our participations in World War I and World War II. I mean, we're talking about a lot of fellow citizens. A lot of brothers and sisters are dying. And if we do the worldwide count, it's in the millions. And that's hard, and this thing we could have taken care of it months ago. But we just don't, this the lack of leadership, or awful leadership, that we have in this country has just made it just so difficult, and the White House itself is now infested just because they didn't want to deal with it for the basis of motivations. And so that stuff is all painful. That builds up, and it puts a lot of stress for those of us who are aware and who do read the news and do think about these things, and like to go out and be with other people and do all the things that was just normal thing of being a human being, of being part of a community. That's by and large been really damped. And thank God for the internet. Thank you. Can you imagine doing this thing without the internet? How we would be so isolated. Either we'd all come monks, or we'd all shoot ourselves. I'm not sure which. So go one or two ways there. But today we're going to listen to a track called Profound Releasing, and it's by Joseph Kao, and he is one of my favorite people. I guess most of my favorite, everybody who works for WeAwake is one of my favorite people, and you guys are too. But anyway, I love Joe, and he's a brilliant hypnotherapist. He's a licensed hypnotherapist in the UK. He's also a Shakespearean actor. He has a beautiful voice, and very resonant. Well, but this one is without his voice. But if you go and you purchase the whole product, you get it with his guided meditation. I'm not sure why we're not doing that one this time, but we decided not to. But anyway, just the entrainment music itself is very powerful, and it's a mix, very interesting, simultaneously, a theta, theta, delta. Let me see. Let me get my thing here. Yeah, theta, delta, beta, and gamma waves simultaneously. So this is like a Dagwood sandwich of, boy, does that date me. Does anybody remember the cartoon Dagwood? A big fat sandwich, multi-layered sandwich of brain entrainment. And it's really beautiful. It's really powerful. And the purpose of it is to do releasing. And all these things that, I was just talking about, the pandemic, the kind of just, in my country, the horrible things that have been going on politically, really can build up and put pressure and on our souls and lead us to despair and depression and anger and cynicism and hopelessness and depression. And we can actually release those things. And when we're able to just let those things go, then we're much more capable of actually being part of a solution and not just part of the problem and letting it get us down. And I know we probably all experienced those moments where all our past history is gone and we're just in the present moment, when we're taking that hike and looking at that beautiful canyon or that mountaintop or in the desert or in the forest, deep and green. It's just these moments of connection with the all, where all the past and everything is gone. And some years ago, Pam and I were going to a monastery, a Catholic monastery in Arizona, and Pam had stayed there for a long retreat, and I joined her for a week at the end, I think. And it was very interesting. And by the time I got there, Pam was like good buddies with all the monks, and they were telling her their life stories. I guess it wasn't a silent monastery because they were all, Pam's a therapist, they were all, anyway, telling their stories. But there was one person at the monastery who seemed to be the most enlightened and the happiest person in the monastery. And this person was not a monk. She was not a nun. She was the beekeeper. Yes, the beekeeper. And why was she so happy? Well, because she'd had some kind of brain damage. She had a couple of things. One thing, it was kind of a near stroke, sunstroke, and the other, she'd hit her head. But what had resulted from that is that she had no memory beyond the last 3 weeks. Can you imagine? Your rotten childhood and all the things that are done to you and all the blah, 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 was just not there. And she was just very much in the present. And she just had 3 weeks of baggage to carry around with her. And 3 weeks of baggage, not very heavy when you live in a monastery. And we became friends with her and her boyfriend. Her boyfriend says, it's horrible. We get in an argument, and I'm still pissed. And after 3 weeks, he just, hi, honey. She's all over it. And I'm not. So anyway, gosh, to be able to release that. And so my suggestion is that we use this meditation time to profound release, as the title says. And that's what it was designed for. And whatever it is, if you have resentments and, people have done bad things to you, or you need to forgive yourself, or you're just stressed out and angry about the situation and the injustice in the world and the politics and the environment and all of this stuff. It doesn't mean that in fact, it means if we can do this, we can be more loving and more effective and more wise and move from a much more centered place and react more from our higher self and less to be controlled by our conditioned lower self. So let's put our minds and hearts together and release whatever negatives that we have that are keeping us back from being the persons that we could possibly be and that we were born to be. And so that we can together, we can give our gifts to the world and do it for those who came before us, those who are currently with us. And I open this all, not just to our human family, but to all sentient beings, and definitely for those who come after us, for our children and their children and their children's children's children. So, and the Native Americans say that the good that we do carries on for 7 generations ahead of us. and also the evil that we do. So let's not do that. Let's let go of the non-good, the bad, the hurtful, and fill ourselves with the light and the wisdom and the vision to be the people that we need to be right now. So, shall we begin? Well, welcome back, everyone. Uh, Beautiful. Hope you're feeling more at peace and more connected. Thank you so much for spending this time with us. It means a lot. I don't have much to say after that. The experience was pretty much said what it needed to. And may you experience, and may we empty ourselves of that which does not need to be there and let it go, so that we can be with the love and compassion that is our birthright under all this stuff. Sometimes I think meditation is like an archaeological dig, layers and layers and layers of stuff that keeps us from that treasure, right? I think Jesus called it a pearl of great price. And yeah, sometimes we have to go through our individual stuff, our collective stuff, all of that stuff to get there. And the good news is your deepest self is your best self. So you don't have to be scared of going too deep. Sometimes we are. You start to lose the sense of what you identify as yourself, what you become to think of yourself, your small self. And that begins to let go. It can kind of be a bit scary. But when we let go, that's when we find it. And anyway, just thank you very much for, I think our meditations together are very important. And this technology and these tracks are very powerful in and of themselves. And we do it collectively, put our minds and hearts together. It's good. And I think it creates a good collective energy. So please invite folks you think that might profit from this or benefit from this to come together and experience this with us. And we'll be having other people guide these meditations in the coming weeks. Also, beloved, I want to remind you again to participate in the 24-hour WeAwake streaming event that is happening starting right now. And it's 24 hours of streaming WeAwake tracks. And it's a great opportunity to meditate deeply, to explore your own consciousness, to explore the collective consciousness, to explore perhaps WeAwake tracks that you're not familiar with. So please join us there, and let's keep the evolution and the healing and the growing in compassion and wisdom that is the purpose and the goal of spiritual practice alive and well. So we'll see you there. Thank you. And anyway, just love you guys. Thank you very much. And we will, universe, goddess, God willing, we'll be here next time. Carry the journey on together. Thank you.